find it.
Yeah.
Should be kicking on any minute here.
We're here.
We are?
Over there. It's still herky-jerky.
Are we all herky-jerky? Let me back that thing down. Back it down to, I put it up to 3,000. Let me put it down to 2,500 real quick. Apply. Say okay. Is that any better? I still haven't found me on YouTube yet. Anybody there yet? Huh?
Can't tell.
You're scrolling?
Yeah.
Everything is scrolling. Wonder. I wonder if I kick off of here, if that will help you. Try kicking off YouTube. What are all these? Okay. Alright, it shows we're in the green. Are we on? You were watching? Just you? Huh. Is there anybody out there? We're trying to resolve the
Somebody
problems.
Ticked it 1. Thumbs up.
Yeah. I don't know why it just keeps scrolling. It just doesn't make any sense. It's going to be short-lived. It is. Everything is your other computer idling.
I don't know if I have time to.
Yeah, check it. Let me have that. Let me look at that while you're. See if anyone comes on. Oops. How come we can't see any? Hello. What? We definitely did better. See, I'm showing a green output is what I'm showing. Yours is scrolling. It's not showing anybody. What's that do right there? What's that little thing?
It should say.
Here, go ahead.
Okay, so I'll switch back to my name. So we can see where it says.
They tell us if anyone's out there.
It should say 1's on there. comes up.
Okay.
So that's me.
That was you?
That is me, right there.
Yeah.
I'm the only one watching.
There, now we're on. Let's see what's going on here. Let's see if it'll stick for a while. It's working. It just like in slow motion.
This is what I was doing last night.
Well, we were just totally like losing it.
Well, it's
If anybody's out there, could you let us know you're there?
Hey, Brian.
Hi, Brian.
We're making ourselves crazy with this thing again tonight.
We're gonna try it for a few minutes. If it's not working, then we're gonna kill it. Is the audio working? And it looks like the video's working now, just a little jerky, but I'm just thinking that if we get that better Wi-Fi. It's not scrolling though.
Hey, Rosalie. Hi, guys. Sorry I had to cut out on you last night. Nothing drives me more crazy than buffering. Well, I think you're not going to be any happier tonight.
We're not buffering tonight.
We're not buffering. We're just freezing.
We're just like in slow motion, and we moved the MiFi unit, and the problem is our MiFi doesn't have an antenna, and we actually doesn't have a place to plug in an antenna, and we have an antenna on the roof that is cell antenna, and it really ups the reception when we used to use it with our other MiFi, but we got this new one, and everyone's, what I'm reading is 7730L is the one to get. I'm thinking that's what we're going to do. A brand new one's $128, and then we got to get a new SIM card.
Hey, Bill. Hey, Darla. Still in Portugal. Really?
Wow.
You're slow, but the sound is good.
Yeah, well, and it's not scrolling, so it's a little better than it was. I'm just wondering if maybe it's the hour or something. What do you think?
I don't know. I don't understand.
Oh, while we're here, does anyone have any questions? We did, we put out a new video today about our awning. We bought one new side, and we went through the tornado thing the other day, so I put everything away because we thought the tornado might come through, and then it didn't. So I waited until I got the new side, and then we did that video yesterday, and then Darla got it on today. And then today we did some work on our water heater. We filmed that. If we would have filmed the whole process on that, it would have been a lot of driving because we had to keep going back to get the right stuff. But we finally got everything. We had a problem where if you take a really long shower or something, it would start leaking, and it had all the stuff to winterize, and we've never winterized this thing. We live in it. We're not going to shut it off. So anyway, now it's working good. It's not leaking anymore. We put a new hot rod in there. We put a new anode rod, and it seems like everything. Couldn't get it to work. Couldn't figure out what was going on. The little switch inside the cabinet was turned off, so now it's really good. So
I'm sorry to hear that, Mikio. She's not in Portugal for fun. It's a sad occasion.
Oh, sorry about that.
Rosalie says it's a lot better today.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm looking on my tablet, and it's not buffering, but it we move and then we freeze, and then we move and then we freeze. You guys aren't.
I probably look better frozen.
Are you not getting that, Rosalie? Brian says it's slow.
Yeah. I think we're gonna invest the money for the better MiFi unit, and it's set up like I say, I have a cable over here where I can plug in to my antenna on the roof. And before, we used to do that when we were like gate guarding and stuff. I mean, we go from no reception to boom, we had internet. So now we're buffering. Yep, stopped. One thing I'll make a comment I think that's kind of funny is that in our analytics, it shows that less than 25% of the people that subscribe to us are females, and we have more females watching us all the time on our live feeds than guys do. So it's kind of cool. We have a pretty much an even mix, I think, most of the time. I know Trey wanted to do this today, but he was going somewhere beautiful, so he's trying to coax us into going to Idaho, which we like Idaho too.
Yeah,
it's really pretty there. Yeah. So we're still in the thought process on a little bit of an adjustment on the economic refugee name, adding RV to it. I think that if you like I said last night, if you ever heard it, if you type in, if you go to Google and you Google economic refugee RV, we come up all over the place. But if you just type, I guess I'm talking to that guy sitting there. If you type in just economic refugee, then what you get is, you know, people from Syria and everything else. So we're trying to make it just a little bit unique, and it just be a matter of going through and changing everything we've done. But it would probably be better to do it now than to wait until, you know, that's probably. Think we're going to do any better? Maybe. Not whining, but our subscriber base has been, it's gone down over 100. And I think the reason is because I think a lot of the people that are van people are not really as interested in the motorhome world as they are about the van stuff, and I understand that. So, and that's part of the reason why on Economic Refugees group on Facebook, I try to put vans on there, travel trailers. I found another company that auctions stuff off, and I mean they're selling travel trailers on there. I mean pretty nice ones for under $1,000, and
people who want to live in vans want to live in vans.
Yeah,
so we try to give them what they're interested in too. But
I think if you're going to live in a van, I don't know if I would want to live like in a new Nissan or something like that. I like those old Chevys and Fords and stuff. I mean I think they're a little more friendly, and especially when, you know, people get in there and start mickeying around with the electronics and stuff on them and cutting wiring looms. I see that happening on some of the videos. You know, you do that to some of them things and you can never get them to run again. They're just dead. So the old ones, you know, you can do anything you want to them. But the new ones seem to be a little more not adaptive to that. Especially like putting solar in, if you chop them or get tied into something you're not supposed to. I did on what's her name, Writing and Rolling.
Writing and Rolling.
I put a relay, like a starter relay type thing, on her solar system.
She has a van.
A van. She has a van. So when she started the van, it would kick on. The alternator would kick on, and it would charge her batteries when she was driving. And then when she would shut it off, it would take her start battery and everything that had to do with the van out of her house battery system, and then the solar would work. So it just, I think that helped her a lot. So that's the way you got to wire them up. Kind of keep things separately instead of having everything tied together and shorten out stuff. We still have people?
I don't.
It shows that on here that we're still connected good. We got a green light.
It dropped me.
I wonder if let me try doing something else here. Let me see if I can try this setting. There's a setting in here that I can change. I'll try dropping it again. There we go. Okay, I set it at in a lower setting. It shows it's working. All right, that's what that green light is. Yeah, last night it was going from yellow to red, yellow to red. What are you going on, KOAs?
Well, it dropped me. So yes.
So we don't know if anyone's out there right now. We're blind.
No, I can't come.
Says you're now connected.
No, it doesn't.
Huh? You're now connected to the internet. You're back. Oh, there you go. Oh, so there's people out there.
Okay. There's a need for your channel for us newbies with motorhomes.
Yeah.
Keo says. Bill, how do you check the pressure regulator on your propane tank? Brian wants to know.
How do you check your pressure regulator? On how much pressure it's putting out, or? I mean, if you're not getting propane, or if you think it's too high, which usually that's not the problem. I usually just would get a better regulator. I don't have any way to test them. A lot. I've actually, though, we've gotten bad propane before, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know what you have to do to get bad propane, but it can happen. And I just kept, refilling the tank until it finally, and we got like a 48-gallon tank, so. And now I'm a little bit more, I'm a lot more picky where I buy propane. Some of these places get bad propane. Any other questions? That's it?
He said yes. Rosalie's still here. Hi, Rosalie.
How many people do we have? Just two?
I think Makio's here. Three. Makio, Brian, and Rosalie.
Yeah, we're killing it, you guys. Well, we're just doing a short one to see, because like I say, last night after we were, tell you what, we were so frustrated last night, we were ready to just go, ah. So anyway, we moved the MiFi from here to Darla's desk, and all of a sudden everything just started going bam, bam, started working really good. And so I said, well, after we did what we did today, I said, well, let's just give it a whirl and see if we can get this thing working again. And
see,
it's scrolling. Could it just be you, or is it everybody, you think? Are you on KOA? Is that why? So anyway, this will be a short one. We just wanted to kind of try. We got a really nice camera, and I mean we have all the audio. We got a boom mic. We got everything all set up. It should be running great, from what we've been told. But I think our biggest problem is our internet. I went online and people were saying that 730L is the one to get, and it's like 3 times what we paid for the one we have. And we have to get a new SIMS card, so it would be worth it though to be able to do these live streams, because we enjoy doing these. We love talking to people and getting the feedback and getting questions that people actually have, instead of just doing things. I mean, there's people that I talk to all the time now on economic refugees, and if you want to talk to me, you know, like message me and stuff, if you let me know that you want me to friend you, I will friend you, and then you can message me, and then if you need to talk to me on a phone, I would be willing to give up my number. If it gets crazier or something, then I'll change my number. But everybody I've talked to so far has been awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I have no problem with anyone I've talked to so far. It's been really good. So, and I've been warned. You know, I just I guess I'm just one of them kind of guys that I just feel like, you know, there's still good people, still honest people out there. We get some once in a while, but not too much.
And I block them.
Yeah, Darla blocks them right away. Let me see if I can get the YouTube thing going.
I'm rebooting my tablet because I lost connectivity and I can't get back online. I don't even know if we're actually transmitting. If you're still
there we are, right there. 5 watching right now.
Okay.
Let's see if it pulls up. It says not responding. There it goes. Now it's responding.
Buffering.
There it is. There we are. Okay. Now let's see if the comments come up. This is the part I hate. I would just prefer to just have this thing just fly and.
I don't even know if we're actually transmitting.
There we go. There we are, right there. I turned the audio off on this. So let's see. Whatever you did on your computer, you're faster. Alright? And now it's working.
So you got
here.
off of OBS is what happened.
No, OBS is still running. It runs in the background now. Let's see. Lift question. Should I start with replacing shocks or go straight to airbags? That's on your little, what is it? You have a Toyota or a Datsun? I think you said you had a Datsun. The thing is what shocks are going to do is shocks are going to control your, like when you hit a bump, you want it to kind of just do this kind of thing. You don't want it to just keep going. We put on Brian's, we did both at the same time. We did the airbags and we put Rancho 9000 adjustable shocks. And that's what I have on my truck. I have it all the way around. He just has it on the back. And it makes a big difference. I mean, I could change the handling on my truck and I put heavy duty sway bars on it and everything else. And my truck handles like a good car, almost like a performance car. It doesn't have the motor to do it, but yeah, you have a Datsun. Okay, Sunraider Datsun. Yeah, so that's what I would try to do both. It's really not that much money. I think the shocks actually cost more than the airbags. And the airbags are pretty simple to put in. If you have any kind of mechanical knowledge and you have some tools, I mean a drill and a few hand wrenches is all it takes to put those on. Same way with the shocks. If you could do, I don't know, I'd probably put the airbags on first because I would want to control the weight.
Thank you, Sunraider Datsun.
Yeah, and then make sure, when you do those airbags, make sure you run individual lines.
I'm gonna sign off.
What you don't want to do with the airbags is if you have them tied in to a T, then when you go through something, the air will transfer from one bag to the other, and it will actually allow the motorhome to tip. If you have them aired up individually, and say you have more weight on the left side of your RV than you do on the right, then you can bring the left side up a little more and level it all out real nice, and you'll learn. Like when we had our truck camper, I'd put 80 in the left and 50 in the right, and it would just be perfectly level, and it handled great, and I had individual lines. I hope that answers that question for you. You can still hear us.
I just logged off completely. Since you're able to read the comments, I'll let you do that. There, maybe it'll flow better. I don't know.
Is it still working good? The kit I'm looking at has separate lines for the airbags. Yeah, that's what you want. You have to. I usually just run the lines out the back, and I just put it like on either side of the. Of course, you got a motorhome, but just somewhere where you can have them pretty close to one another, so you're not like on one side. Mine are in my wheel wells, and I wish I'd ran them all the way to the back. But either way, okay, so it looks like we're still freezing though, but it's not as bad as it was. I think a little more internet will do a lot better. Does anyone have any questions for Darla? She keeps telling me she never gets any questions.
I don't tell him that.
Nobody loves her. Who does her hair? What's her favorite thing to make me for breakfast? Poison. I've learned how to eat poison and live. Yeah, run them out the back, and you just, keep them close to one another, so you just go, makes it real simple. Just keep them away from exhaust. Keep them away from things that move, that could pinch them, You just, strap them real good. Those little tie straps. I wish I was the one.
Who are you talking to?
Oh, it says not freezing here anymore. I'm talking to Mokia. Makio. Oh, I always have a hard. I can see how it's spelled. I'm just not real smart at that kind of stuff, I guess. Anything else, you guys? Any other questions? Well, yesterday with these diesel motorhomes, we fired it up yesterday, let it run, fired up the generator, let it run for a while. And then that gave me a chance to blow my air horn, and everybody in the campground was going, "Was that you?" So that makes me feel good. I can make enough noise.
You gotta have a horn when you drive one of these things, because
I have 6 of them.
For some reason, people don't see you. I don't know how that's possible, but
Makio. Yeah, I got it. See, you did that before. That's what I see, but I just I want to call you Makia, and I know that's not right. So Makio. There we go. Makio. Instead of Makia, Makio. Let's see if I can. Yeah, it doesn't say. No, 6 watching.
Oh, it is on there?
Yeah, it's right there. 6 watching now. Well, we didn't advertise this at all. What we did is
we didn't want to disappoint the masses.
Yeah, we didn't know whether we were even going to be able. I don't know why it looks broken to us. I'm pretty sure it's got to be totally our internet here, and I think it's time we step up and do something, huh?
Yeah.
See how it goes. Tomorrow's payday, so we're trying,
one hand and out the other.
Yeah, we're trying to save money. We've saved a little bit so far, but not like we could. But we're not doing a job where we could actually save a lot of what we got fired. Where we could save a lot of money. When we worked gate guarding, we first started with Gate Guard Services, and then a brand new company started. It was called Guard 1 Services, and we went to Guard 1, and we actually helped them get a bunch of guards. In fact, one of the guys called me the other day, and we were talking, and that's when I did a thing on Economic Refugees Group. We did some stuff on a live stream, and I told them some places to kind of advertise. And now we're scrolling, and back again, and he got back with me and said that he's getting people, so he's happy. Well, I talked to one guy that we got for down there, and he says he's making some killer money, so him and his wife, but they're working out of a kiosk, so a little guard shack. And they pay you a lot more for that.
Another good job that somebody reminded me about last week for work camping is Southern Cross. And they go out and they test gas lines, and they look for leaks. and I guess they pay really good, but you gotta drive your own vehicle.
Yeah, they have you check for leaks with a butane torch. It's a little dangerous.
Anyway, I guess they pay $14 an hour, and they pay you $1,200 a person for your RV camp spot. So if you found a spot for $400, you'd pocket $800, and if you're married, that's ×2. So sounds pretty good, but I don't know what the job involves.
Yeah, $14 an hour is pretty good for work
When I
camping.
find out more, I'll let you guys know if you're interested.
You know, you don't really have to restrict yourself to the normal campground job, like working in campgrounds. To be honest with you, this is only second time that, well, this is the third time that we've worked in a campground twice here now. This is the second time here. But you don't have to limit yourself to those type of jobs. I mean, we've worked at RV dealerships. I mean, you could go to an area and get a job at McDonald's. I mean, if you like working at McDonald's or Walmart or whatever, you know. I mean, if there's a place you want to be, if you can find a good price on a campground and get a job at a local place, you could do a summer thing. And a lot of I actually was talking in Arkansas to an AutoZone about working in an AutoZone. And they said, well, we're kind of looking for someone, all the time. And I said, well, when's your big season? Well, for them, the big season would be when we would be there. And I said, well, look, here's the thing. I would come in, prime time it, when you're busy, and I'd be there to help you out and work. And then when things start slowing down again, we'd leave. And there's not going to be any unemployment or anything because we'll be moving on to another job. So the guy was pretty excited about that. Well, the thing is at the time that I talked to him, I wasn't anywhere close to there, and we were supposed to get something going, and when I went back, he had moved on to another place. So, and the guy that was the new guy that would have been hiring, I don't like him. So I saw how he treated his employees, and he wasn't going to be able to treat me that way, so I wouldn't even entertain it. Yeah, that's one thing about this lifestyle. If you're pretty much debt free, if you're not carrying a lot of debt, you can pick and choose your jobs, and if you're unhappy, you can just leave. There's no reason. When you live in a house and there's a limited amount of jobs within your area, and you set you want to drive. Most people want to try to be as close to where they live to work as possible, so they have time at night, time in the morning. They're not spending all their time driving. But if you're driving 50 miles a day and you're miserable with your job and all that, well, you're stuck. You're just stuck because you got a house full of stuff. You're working to keep your house and keep your stuff. With this, you just go to where the jobs are at, and you don't deal with the same things that you would when you live in a stick house. And that was another thing when we had businesses. We had one business for a while, for 16 years, and it wasn't tied to our area. It was all over the place. We sold stuff in Arizona, Northern California, Los Angeles, and stuff went to Mexico and everywhere else, and we did pretty good at that. But then when that was an electronics company, and then when the Chinese started dumping into this country, it just wiped our industry out. Everybody that was involved with it was gone within a year and a half's time. Some people lost everything, but luckily I was bored. I was making too much money. I had too much free time, so I started working on motorcycles full time. And when the electronics thing started getting to where it wasn't worth doing it anymore, I just went full time into the motorcycle thing. But then, at that point, it was a lot of, I had to deal with my neighbors and people in my area. I had people that drove, I had one guy came down every year. He drove 1,200 miles the state of Washington to have me do everything on his bike for the summer. But you know, not everybody's going to do that. That was an exceptional deal. Let's see. We got what company did you forget? Are you 5 watching? Q for Darla. I get you are work camping a lot of the time, but I wonder if you get bored just sitting in parks and campgrounds. Do you craft, Darla?
We'll go on a drive and stuff. We haven't had a chance to get bored here because we were working 6 days a week for the last 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's really and truly, I do feel like Monday morning I just kind of hit a block wall and I was done with work. So I'm glad we had 2 days off this week. But then, you know, we've got a lot of stuff around here that we hadn't gotten done and we had to get caught up on. So I almost feel like we didn't get any time off, and now tomorrow we got to go back to work. So,
yeah, but we have 2 days off, which is a lot better.
Yep.
And so next weekend we'll do laundry.
Next week.
Our weekend. Well, it's the thing about it is we go back to work tomorrow, so it's Friday. So usually Fridays are pretty busy. Saturdays are pretty busy.
Sunday it tapers
Sunday
off.
It starts really tapering off, and then Monday and Tuesday it's slow. And really the busy days are the easier days. When it's slow,
it goes
man,
faster,
it's
yeah.
just
it's been kind of crazy because it has been slow, and so it just kind of gnaws at you. I mean, we're in the cafe, but you can't really leave, and it's so hot in there till they get that air in there, which I'm hoping that they do this coming week, because July is coming, and it's going to be really busy in July. July's their busiest month, and then August, and then it starts winding down at the end of August, after Labor Day. Then it starts tapering off. And do I craft? Not really.
What she likes to do is she likes to Facebook.
Yeah, if I had the room, I would like, when we had our house, I did a lot more stuff. I like to build miniature doll houses, and I love to sew, but I don't drag the sewing machine out. You get that stuff going in here, and it's uncomfortable. It makes you uneasy because it's such a mess.
And she won't do it outside, so. Our picture is froze. Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Our one monitor is working good. Of course, that's the camera. The other one. But our audio's still up. And how long have we been rolling here? Does it say? Is it back going yet?
Are you online there?
Am I online? Yeah, I should be online. Let's see.
Oh, there we go.
Now we're moving again a little bit. Does anyone have any experience with that 7730L? I mean, for us,
What's in my coffee?
we're kind of out a little ways from town. We're only about 5 miles from town now, 4 or 5 miles. So it shouldn't be that bad, but of course, on the weekends, that's why it's good for us to do this like on Wednesday nights, because on the weekends everybody's here, and when you look at your
everybody's online.
Yeah, you just see it's just cranking. So it's hard to even be online sometimes in these campgrounds. That's why we absolutely have to have our own. But yeah, it's just one of the things. It's just like when we go to Quartzsite. We'll be at Quartzsite for a month, and 2 weeks before the big tent starts, we have great internet. Once everybody shows up for a week, we got, nothing. We have nothing. And then when everybody leaves again, then the internet starts cranking. So you just, it's just one of those things that you kind of live with, and you know it's going to come. We've been going there so many years. We know it's happening,
Mm-hmm.
Any weather isn't helping with it being slow in the cafe. I make miniatures too.
Who said that?
That's Makio.
Yeah.
I got it, Makio.
Makio, yay!
Makio, I got it, Makio. Yeah. And me, I just work on the motorhome. That's my crafts.
Somebody else popped on. I saw it jump up.
Oh, yeah.
Comments. No?
Yes, audio is still up. But well, it looks like the video's still working. It just, to us, it just...
Crawling.
Yeah, it just shows every once in a while. Changes every once in a while. So Makio, did you ever figure out on those doors, those are just flat panel doors. Those should be very simple to make. I mean, you should, that doesn't seem like that would be that big a deal at all. That's just, all that is that board that's kind of, looks like it's speckly, and then a piece of foam on the inside, and then just a flat panel with an aluminum trim and a hinge.
It could be your next hobby, your craft, making cargo bay doors.
Yeah. I would think that if you wanted to, what you could do too, you just go buy doors that were too big and chop them down, make them smaller.
They can't be that thick though. Like that thick?
Well, they're just small. They're just like, those doors look like what you would have on a travel trailer. Is that correct? Yeah, it's just moving slow. It's funny when we both go thunk, thunk. How long have we been on? Half an hour?
I'm not online, so I don't know. I don't know what time it is.
6:40. Yeah, we'll go for a little bit more, not too long tonight though. Because tomorrow we go back to work, and of course we don't go to work till 3 o'clock, so that's kind of nice too.
Well, we're not getting up at 6 in the morning.
Yeah, well, I woke up at 4 o'clock this morning.
We've got these new neighbors next door. They let us know that they were here at 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah, they're early risers. So if they slam their trailer door, they got to be in they're at least in their 70s.
Late 70s.
Yeah, late 70s. And they're nice. I mean, I've talked to them, they're real nice. And they got a big dog, and the dog is like on a long enough rope where it could almost go underneath the motorhome. And so I can't do my little awning on the left side tie downs. But I mean, at 4:30 this morning, they were outside and they were in and out, slamming that door. And it was like,
and
what the heck?
opening cargo bay doors too.
Yeah, it was like crazy, man. I was like, what the heck? And then I went out and just kind of introduced myself a little bit, talk with them.
At 4:30 in the morning?
No, but later in the morning.
He got up. I buried under the pillow, but still, by 6 o'clock I was up, and that was it.
Yeah, and then I came back, sat down in my chair, and was watching a show I like to watch in the morning, and I woke up when it was over. So that worked out pretty good.
Spellbinding.
Yeah. It looks like is everyone still there? Streaming is still up too. Good. So we look fine to you guys. If I move you like this, you can see me moving. It's not like I'm all choppy or anything.
Because it's freezing really badly for us. And we only